This is Snake Sink, and welcome to the Woke Socialist Podcast. Right now, the average black person, a red person who looks like me, has absolutely no representation in the United States government. Therefore, we are declaring Election Day is National Strike Day. What we are saying is, no longer are we going to, as a neighborhood, a county, a state, or a nation, going to continue to vote for people who do not stand up for us. Right now, the people that claim that they care about racial equality are officially, most of them, bought and paid for by AIPAC. You can check iHip News and several other news organizations on that. Now, I do not expect anybody to like and subscribe to this video. I really don't give a shit. But what I'm saying is what we're going to do. The Maryland 400, the John Brown Alliance, and the Woke Socialist Podcast operates outside of people on the internet who tell you how to think, how to protest, where you should be, and how you should vote. All I can attest to is what I have received since the 2016 election, in that cycle, in that process. But I digress. Right now, as the lives of black Americans have been threatened with lynchings, torture, incarceration, rape, and all those things that encompass genocide, Democrats in Congress have said absolutely nothing. Nothing. So yesterday I was on here and I had a conversation about Jake Lang. And this individual was one of the people who were pardoned by Donald Trump on January 6th. Now he is going all over the country. And the last video made that I saw was in New York City, where he stood right in front of the governor's house and called for his execution and murder. And then, days earlier, Trump sanctioned social media. Lindsey Graham, Mike Johnson, and all those people sanctioned this. A chat was released about how they are going to get rid of black people in America. And I don't say get rid of by you can sit and have your government job and do your shit. I mean, go along with your comfortable lives thinking that everything is safe, and then you're going to be grabbed and executed just because of the color of your skin. If you don't believe me, hearken back to the Ku Klux Klan. If you don't believe me, look up the name Emmett Till. This is where we are. So as long as I have breath, I am not going to allow the state of Maryland to be fooled into thinking that they need to be the firewall for white elitists taking AIPAC money in the United States government. And I'm going to do a later show on that, Nancy Pelosi, and how that ties into all this other shit. But I digress. At any rate, let me make something very clear, very fast. I don't have a lot of time right now, because unlike you, I don't get billions of dollars. Elected officials, where I can spend, I don't know, 15 hours a day doing podcasts, talking, going to meetings at the now released House of Representatives, where you don't have to fucking work for your money. I have to get up in the morning and take care of 2 elderly people, living off of $300 a month and some food stamps, because I bought into your okie doke. I got a job, a trade job. I'm a skilled laborer who is now disabled. And you are voting for everything that these people put forward. These traitors and their minions. You have no soul. Right now, there are countless veterans on the streets of every major city, because it's more important to you to keep your AIPAC money and not offend Donald Trump or Nancy Pelosi. And they are both one and the same. Make no mistake. One and the same. So with this threat of terrorism against black people, let me make something clear. I've said this before. No white group throughout American history has ever been able to defeat the Native Americans or black people without guns, some kind of authority, and being able to convince people of color that they were not allowed to respond in kind. Rewind this video and listen to that. This is what they're doing now with this peaceful protest bullshit. You are not allowed, as white people, to respond to the violence that is being put upon you. If that's what you're into, and that's what you believe, and you want to hug up on all these elected officials that say we got to have peaceful protests, good on you. The rest of us have to live through another generation. So people like me and other red and black Americans, we are going to respond to the violence that is inflicted upon us. We are not going to sit idly by in this country while we have an imminent terrorist threat by Jake Lang and others that they are going to come raid our houses now that we have ICE, take us out of them, and just behead us in the middle of the streets for sport. If that's your thing and you're willing to wait for another election, great. But not only will we not be around, possibly, to vote for you, but we're not going to vote blue no matter who after you let that fucking happen to us. And you let it happen to Renee Good, and you let it happen to Mr. Preddy. You let that happen to George Floyd. You let that happen to Martin Luther King Jr. You let that happen to Emmett Till. And unlike you, we learn a little bit from history. It's going to take a little more than shouting out loud and claiming your white supremacy over us and toting guns around American cities. What it's going to take is for you to cut the shit, stop making threats, and meet us where we are. Because we are not afraid of you and never have been. When you can come to us without your cops and your Donald Trump and your social media podcast and your bullshit, then and only then will you even be considered lower than equal. The problem with you is you have never been able to accept excellence, mental, and educational superiority over you. Instead, you relied on us to be weak. That day is over. This is not 1963 or 1954. If you want to back up what you said and start systematically killing black people in the streets and torturing them, bring your lunch, motherfucker. Because it's going to be a long goddamn day. This is the Woke Socialist Podcast. Nick Zink. Have the day you deserve.